Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy and you're taking all the important precautions during this pandemic. Also, you're taking good care of your health during this changing weather. My name is Abha and today I'm here to share a story with all of you. But I'm going to read it out to you today for a change. It's from Grandma's Bag of Stories by Sudha Murti. The name of the story is Kaveri and the Thief. So Kaveri's lazy husband annoyed her to no end. There she was working like a donkey in the fields, plowing and watering and tending a hard, dry piece of land, while her husband snored away happily at home. Why? Once when a stranger came asking for some food and water, he just pointed towards the kitchen and went back to sleep. The stranger, thankfully, was a very honest man and he took enough for himself and his horse. Not that there was much to steal in Kaveri's little house. They were poor farmers with only a patch of land where nothing seemed to grow. Somehow, Kaveri tilled the land, did some odd jobs in the neighborhood and made ends meet. The land was right next to the temple. On some days, her husband would work along with her on the pretext of helping her. But no sooner would she be back, she would be turned and she would find him stretched out near a temple gossiping with the passing villagers. One day, as she was working in the field trying to dig up the ground so she could find some good soil and sow some seeds, a thin man with a big mustache appeared beside her. He was a thief and he was up to no good. Kaveri, of course, did not know this. She greeted him politely and went back to work. Now the thief wanted to steal the coins that were given as an offering in the temple and perhaps even the ornaments on the idol. The only way into the temple was by digging his way in from Kaveri's land. But how could he do anything there with this tough, no-nonsense woman always working? Well, guessing Kaveri was hard up for money, he whispered to her, "Sister, why are you working so hard on this barren land? I will give you 1,000 rupees. Sell it to me." Well, Kaveri raised her eyebrows. Why did he want to buy the land for so much money? Surely something was wrong. The thief sensed that she was not about to sell the land to him, so he raised the price. He said, 1,050? No? 2,000? No? 5,000? No? Kaveri kept shaking her head. She did not like this odd-looking man who was offering her so much money for the field. Clearly, he had some evil plans. Finally, to keep him quiet, she made up a story. "Well, I will never ever sell this land. You see, it belonged to my ancestors. Now we are poor, and I am told that once my family was very, very rich. Though we lost a lot of our money, but much of it was also buried down in here and in this field by one of my ancestors to keep it safe from robbers. Then people forget about it for years and years. My husband found a clue to the location of the hidden treasure just a few days back. Why do you think I am digging this hard earth? Well, not to sow seeds. Oh no, that's just what everyone thinks. I am actually looking for some hidden treasure." The thief was stunned. He felt this woman was really innocent, giving such important information to a stranger. He thought, why should I not take advantage of the situation? Here he was, hoping to steal a few coins from a temple, but this woman was telling him about hidden treasure. He replied in a very humble way. He said, "Yes, sister, I understand. After all, it is your family's treasure. Only you should get it." He pretended to walk away and he went and hid himself a little way down the road. Night fell. Kaveri packed up her tools and headed home. The temple too emptied out. The priest locked it up for the night. Then At midnight, when all was quiet and the night creatures were coming out of their homes, the thief crept into the field. All night he dug and dug and dug, looking for treasure. But of course there was no sign of it, as there never has been any treasure to begin with. By the time dawn broke, he realized Kaveri had made a fool out of him, and he could do nothing but get away from the field fast. When Kaveri reached the field, she grinned to herself, just as she had expected. The thief had spent all night digging up the land nicely for her. All she needed to do was sow the seeds. She worked hard in the field, and for the next month, she managed to grow a good crop. She sold those and finally had made some money. With a part of the money, she bought some jewelry. Many months later, again the thief decided to show his face in the village. He was careful to disguise himself. He trimmed his long moustaches, he tied a colorful turban, and he pretended to be a traveling salesman. But no sooner Kaveri had very well recognized him. But then he also locked his eyes with Kaveri, but he decided not to show up to her. That night, he directly appeared at Kaveri's house and said to her husband, I am a traveler and I do not have a place to spend the night. Please give me shelter for the night. Kaveri's husband agreed immediately. Kaveri, however, glimpsed the man from the inside the house and saw through his disguise too. She very well knew he was the same person. She said in a loud voice, making sure the visitor heard her, oh dear, your aunt is all alone all night and has asked us to come and stay with her. You know how dark scares her when your uncle is not here, right? Come, let us go. And then Kaveri and her husband decided to go and stay the night with her aunt, but they left the house to the thief to spend the night. The thief smiled to himself at Kaveri's foolishness. Her husband meanwhile stared at her with an open mouth. Well, the thief could not believe his luck. He had the entire night to comb through the house. He very well knew if he did not find treasure in her farm, definitely it was hidden somewhere in the house. Finally, he tore down all the walls, but of course, there was nothing that he could find. Exhausted, he fell asleep and woke only with the crowing of the cock as the sun rose. Quickly, he found his little bundle of things and he ran away. Within minutes, Kaveri and her husband returned. Her husband said, "Oh Kaveri, see what the bad man has done to our house. You gave him food and shelter and made me come with you, leaving the man alone in this house." But Kaveri was smiling. Then she broke into peals of laughter and said, "Don't worry. I had planned this all along. You see, I saved money from our last crop to rebuild the house. I needed to call in some laborers to help tear the house down. But our great guest has done it all for us. Now we can make a larger house for ourselves just the way we wanted." The whole village heard the story and started marveling at her intelligence. Many months flew by and the thief was still burning with angst. My dear students, with this we come towards the end of this amazingly interesting story, and how Kaveri, with her intelligence and smartness, taught the thief a very good lesson. In the same manner, we also in our day-to-day lives come across people who try to make a fool of us, who try to take advantage of us. It is totally on our choice how we want to deal with the situation. So always stay alert, always stay careful in whatever task you do involving any financial transaction, any work that you do, or any place where you have to give or take money. Be very careful, because with times there are many people who try to take advantage of us because of our innocence. So always stay safe and always stay alert. Thank you.